All right, so we're going to learn how to write text, format text, paragraph, how to type on paths. So there's four Illustrator files that are attached to this assignment, and I open them all here. So you have single line, paragraph text, text on path, reshape text. Just make sure that you aren't getting these two confused because they look the same. And just make sure you're working on the correct one as you're going through these. Okay. So single line text. All right. It's the type tool is here. Okay. It's the T and the shortcut is T. So if I just press T, it opens up my type tool. And if I just click anywhere, it creates a line of text. And then I can go and I can type as long as I want, but it's going to stay on that one single line unless I press enter to start a second line. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Next is the right here at the bottom, you can change your font size. Okay. The size of the font. You can change the font here itself. You can also go to find more and look for other fonts that are within Adobe's availability for you to use. And then you can also grab by the corner and drag it out. Just be careful that when you drag out, just like you do with any pictures that you've dragged in, you hold shift so that it doesn't stretch the text out. Okay. So on this one, this single line one, what you are writing here is your first and last name, make it a little bit bigger. You're changing the color of the font here, so pick a different color. I think I'm just going to use the same color. And then change the font itself. Okay, that's all you're doing on the first one. All right. Excuse me. The paragraph one. So there's two different ways you can type, and being able to know the difference is going to help you, especially when we start doing like our restaurant menus and different projects like that. So you can just click and it creates your single line of text that'll go on forever, or you can click and hold and then it'll create a text box for you. So then whatever I write in here, it's going to stay within the boundaries of that text box. So I can always shrink it and everything that I typed is going to stay within the boundaries of that box, or I can make it bigger. Okay. This is helpful for when you're creating paragraphs or you're formatting. So very similar to what these lines here are for. So what I'm going to do is type, and then I'm going to create a text box right here. And then what I'm going to write is my first name. Okay. And then I'm going to first name. I'm going to do my grade level. So for me, I'm just going to put teacher. Okay. And then this class. So advanced graphics and design. And then you can see that advanced graphics design ended up on that second line. So I can drag this out and make it fit. Okay. So first I need to make this bigger. Then I can drag it out, fix my paragraph, but then it's still not within those lines that are on the postcard. So what I need to do is what you can do is you can go over here to your properties and then this character tab right here. You can separate, you can change the width of your text. So each line, change how far it is. So about right there. You can change the spacing of each individual letter if you want. It's just all up to you, and you can kind of just manipulate how your paragraphs are aligned there. Okay. If you wanted to, what you could also do is go to bullet points, and you can add like bullet points to it. You can change the type of bullet points. You can put numbers. There's all different types. And again, this will come in handy when we get to like our restaurant menus later down the line. Okay. And that's what you're doing for the second one. Name, first name, last name, grade level, this class. This text on path. Okay. So what we're trying to do is draw or write text along the outside of this circle. So if we go T and then we hover and we hold down on our text tool, excuse me, there's a type on path tool here. And then if we zoom in, if we hover onto that line, you can see that there's a pink path text that pops up. That's what you want. So then while you're on the type on path tool, click it. And then what it does is it creates text along the lines of the path of this circle. Okay. So if I go type on path and I click, okay, it replaces that circle with the text. And then I can put Daniel's Diner. You can rotate it. Make sure that you fix the sizing of it, rotate it, change the font. And again, this goes back to the spacing. So because the letters are so close together, I can go over here to my character and I can space these apart a little bit more. Okay, and that's what you're doing. All right, so just write some text on here, your name, diner, or spell diner wrong. Okay, and then the last one, what you're doing is how to reshape text. Okay, so we're gonna do this to the top portion. So if I go right now, this is still text. Okay. If I click this, I can go and I can change what is written here. Okay. But what we are going to do is to change the text, reshape it, manipulate the text itself. What you're going to want to do is you're going to click this button here that says outline the text. Okay. You can also go here to your properties and it says create outlines. So what that does is right now they are letters, right? And then if I click create outlines, what it does is it now turns these letters, they're now shapes, okay? It would be the same as if you went and you grabbed the pen tool and you traced out this N, all right? It's a shape now. I can't change the letter. I can't change the wording on it. It is what it is. They're shapes. But because they are shapes, we can now we can reshape and adjust these shapes to however we want. Okay, and how we do that is if I hover over and I click on that word, and then you go to your direct selection tool, which is different from your selection. You want your direct selection tool. What this allows you to do to click on these little anchor points. So all these little anchor points, right? Again, it would be the same as if you grab the pen tool and these were all points that you drew. Okay, you can adjust these now. So if we'll start with the M. Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to grab those 4 points at the bottom of the M, and if I click and hold one of them and I hold shift, I can just drag it down okay, and it adjusts it. And I can do the same thing for this O down here. Drag it up. Okay, you can see the spacing is a little off, so you can also just click individual letters now, and then I can space it out. Okay. What else can I do? What else am I supposed to do? I can grab the the U, and I can just move that U. I can drag it down, and I can move the M over. Okay. And that's what you're doing on that last one.